So a lot of people ask how they work, and Jamberry does have videos that tell you how to apply them. I, however, have had a ton of problems with those ways, and they just kept falling off or wrinkling, and I didn't like it. So I finally found my own way that works really good for me. So the first thing I do is I start off with cuticle remover. This is really good stuff. You just put it all around your nails and wait just a few seconds, and then I take this tool. It's flat on one side, curved on the other. This side is just flat, and I scrape off the cuticle off my whole nails and around the bottom. Once that is done, I take Scotch tape. So I take Scotch tape like this here, and then I take a marker or pen, and I'll be right back with that. So then I take a black Sharpie, and I just line around the shape of my own nail, like that, you see? And then you take it off, because for me the ones on the sheet are not close enough to my nail size, so that bothers me. I'm too OCD. I fold it over at the top so I can pull it off, and then say if I was going to use these wraps, I've already cut mine for this Jamberry, but I would just lay the tape on the front side. This is why I fold the top, so it's easy to pull off, over the wrap, and I would cut the wrap about here, and then I trace around the inside of my black line. I cut, and then once you're done with that, you have jams that are exactly the size of your fingernail, and I've already done that. This is my thumb for this side, and it will just fit right on, and I write on the back of them so I don't get them confused. This one's, let's see here, RT, right thumb. So then after you get all of your wraps done for your hands or feet or whatever, so some I have to cut and some I don't. And then the reason I always cut my thumbs is that the Jamberry shape, you can't see with this one, the shape at the bottom is curved. See that? And most people have thumbnails that are flat right here, so when you put it on, it will leave like holes on the side, so that's why I cut it always on my thumbs. So Jamberry recommends to use alcohol. They have alcohol wipes that you can get. That works okay. I've heard people say they use vinegar, but what I like is pure acetone nail polish remover. I think the key is to get all the hand grease off of your cuticles and off of around your nails, to make sure that they stick well. These are just vinyl. There's nothing bad in them or toxic. It's just vinyl, and they stick with heat and pressure. So after I'm done, taking off my cuticles and pushing them back and sizing out my wraps, sometimes I do it over 2 days. Like last night I started, and I just prepared my nails, and today I'm going to finish them. So you get them all clean and dry, just like that. And then I use another extra step. I'm really super hard on my nails, like amazingly hard on them. I do a lot in like water and giving dogs baths and doing my own house cleaning and stuff. So I was having a lot of problems with lifting. So I got this. It's Orly Bonder. You can get it at CVS or any beauty supply shop. It's just a rubberized base coat, and what it does is it helps to get a really good bond with the Jamberry. So before you start to apply, you just go ahead and put a thin coat on all your nails. Let them dry. This stuff doesn't take long. It's not like regular polish. So then I come over here to my stove. I don't have a Jamberry heater. I used to use my blow dryer, but it sends out a lot of air, and my wraps were like curling onto themselves. So I was at someone's house and didn't have even my blow dryer that time, so I had to try something different, and it was the burner. These are the tools that I use for this. Tweezers, a spoon pusher. You can get it at Sally Beauty Supply or whatever. It's got, this one's a little different. It has a pokey thing on this end. And this is a rubber cuticle pusher. And it's just like a super snazzy one. I love it. Pressure and heat are key to these. So I have my stove turned on to about 4. And what I do is I grab the wrap at the very tip, what would be hanging off my nail. So I grab that, like so. And then I'm gonna try to tip this so you can see. Bring it closer. I bring it over to the stove and I hold it. And just for, you'll see it turn and start to get warm. See that? Voila. That's pretty much warm enough. So, once you have it all warm, you would take it onto your nail. Line it up. As good as you can. You want it close to the cuticle, but not too close to the cuticle or edge. I go ahead, I push down to the tip, over and over, and then I grab my little rubber stomper, that's what I call it, and I just push, and I make sure I have a really good seal all over the place. That's the most important thing, is to have that seal when they set. So there it is, halfway done. I mean, it's on. So I don't file them until I'm done. I like to let them cool, but so they don't get in the way, I trim a little bit of the excess, not all of it, just a little bit so it doesn't catch when I'm doing the rest. And then I take my spoon pusher, lay it there on the stove for a couple seconds till it gets nice and warm. Not too hot because they'll burn, but it can be pretty darn hot. I mean, just not like if you can't touch it with your fingers, that's too hot. And then I come back over here and I touch along the edges, especially. Make sure there's a nice, good, hot, direct heat source to keep your edges down. And the tips. On my other nails, the spoon pusher fits over them, so I would use the curved side. But on my thumb it doesn't, so I just do it like that. And that's pretty hot and that's pretty good. So there, that one's done for now. Here's my next one. It's gonna be the raspberry sparkle. So again, you just take it with the tweezers. It's important not to touch the adhesive side of these with your fingers, because any finger oils on there will really affect your how long they last and everything. So once again, you just hold it over there until it starts to change. And the time differs. Like with the sparkles, I find they need a little bit longer than some of the other ones. And I'm gonna try to bend it back a little bit so I can see. This is one of the ones that I did not measure this with the tape. I took it straight off of the Jamberry sheet. So, I need to heat it again. Okay, so it's heated again, and I'm just gonna try to do it so you can see it. It's not working so well. Oh. I go down the middle, over the side, over the side and just push, 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 like that. And I take my rubber cuticle pusher to get a really good seal. I hear a lot of people have problems with them lifting. So then I'm gonna cut off the extra. To cut my jamberries and to size my wraps, I always use the Jamberry scissors because they're very sharp and they do a really good job. Spoon pusher's nice and hot. There's a little bubble because I have really rounded pointer fingers. So I'm just gonna like iron. I'm pretty much just ironing it on. I'll take it on the curved side and kind of just iron it down. I'm going to finish the rest and then come back and show you guys how to trim them. Alright, so I just finished all of them and they look really crazy and stupid. So I got this is a rice bag and I got it from another Jamberry consultant who makes bags. After I'm done with all the heat and stuff and pressure, I take this one that I have in the freezer and I hold it on each of my nails just to set, you know, set the vinyl and the adhesive under there and the base coat that I put on. Okay, so that's done. Then I take my Jamberry nail file, and this is the first file I use. It's just a regular file. I do use a glass nail file afterwards, and what you do to trim it, if you can see, it's like horribly jagged. You can't really see that good. They're jagged. So to get them the size of your nails, you take your nail file and you file at a 90-degree angle, they say. I tilt mine a little bit more this way because I am so hard on my nails. I don't want them all the way down to the tip. I feel like I get early lifting that way. That is the piece that came off the end. And there's my nail. So then I go over it with this file, which is much smoother, so it doesn't leave a rough edge, and I just go over it. Voila, perfect nail, no bubbles, perfectly smooth. I'll show you on a solid one. This one is really, you can see on this side of my nail. Make sure they're all nice and smooth. And you know, after I'm all done with all of them, I will go back and look and just see if there's any bubbles or lifting and all. If there are, I take that spoon pusher, heat it back up, and I just iron it back down and it should stay. So this is the finished product, and they're all sized and they're all filed. I did these ones last night, and yeah, I like them a lot. They'll stay for a long time. I'll actually keep these on. Usually I change them quite often for no other reason except I like all the patterns. I have so many and they're so pretty, and I'll get through like a week with these and then I'll want to change. So then I change them. But these ones I will try to leave on if I can handle it and show you guys how long I get out of my Jamberry manicure. I've actually never ever used the gel polish stuff ever at home or in a salon. But that stuff, it may last, but it is harsh for your nails. Just like acetone is harsh, acrylic is harsh, the gel stuff, the chemicals are harsh. So these are much, much less harsh. They are, again, cruelty-free. They are non-toxic. They are vinyl. They have adhesive on the back. They have something for everybody. They have solids, they have prints, they have, you know, more subdued colors, they have bright colors, they have sports things, they have things for autism. They just have a ton of wraps to choose from. I hope that helps. I'd like just everybody to know that I don't own a Jamberry heater. I don't own the Jamberry alcohol. I don't own the Jamberry wrap remover. I don't own any of that stuff. I use my stuff at home. This is this and this spoon pusher and are the only extra things I had to go and get. You know, cuticle remover I have on hand all the time. Rubbing alcohol or acetone nail polish remover I always have. So the only thing I really got was this oily bonder, which made a difference, and the spoon pusher, which made a difference, and a couple of these, which were super cheap, but you guys can make them yourself. It's just rice in a bag. Yeah, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know.